500. What's to stop me from going for 1,000?
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 37-yard line. Pollard going to try the right side. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign.
Now that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Here's Jackson to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down, and they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And his kick is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he elects not to bring this one out as his guys will take over at the 25. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
Second and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. From the gun, here's Watson. He'll get this into the hands of Mostert. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Watson on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
The first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter, because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting involved as this game goes on.
That one goes for 30 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
They'll try to run it in, going option right. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. Boy, that is a 7-yard loss. Second down now.
Pretty good job there defensively of stringing that one out.
Yeah, you've got a quarterback who's waiting and waiting for something to develop, and it just never materialized, and down he went behind the line of scrimmage.
3-0 after one on EA Sports. Second down and goal. Watson. Touchdown, Browns. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns have moved out in front. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their futures. They look ahead to the offseason. What spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Pollard again. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
There he goes, right side. The 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Houston. Tony Pollard, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have retaken the lead. Extra point forthcoming. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The Browns drive about to get started. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown. Jalen Waddle. 75 yards. And the Browns are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. The York on now for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. Kickoff team on the field. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. We have witnessed touchdowns on back-to-back drives. We'll see if the offense can continue this uptick here.
And I know you're looking at me funny. You're wondering when I'm going to get upset watching these guys go up and down field, aren't you?
I wasn't looking at you. I got something in my eye.
That's the excuse that you always use for something like that. Listen, I appreciate good offensive football as much as the next person. When it's played well and is skillful, I'm with it. And right now, this is exciting.
Oh, the defender likes it. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a third down. A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get, so he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Houston. Tony Pollard, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Texans have yet again retaken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 17-14. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's going to try and go deep again. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted.
Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to get the football here at their own 23. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Partner, everything that happened before that fumble was great. Good vision, navigated the open field, got good chunk yardage. At that point, if you see a defender coming down, just step out of bounds. Don't risk all you picked up before the hit to just try and get an extra yard or two.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked up by Steven Nelson.
And the Texans are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll go option to the short side. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
On 3rd down, Jackson.
Swinging this out for Pollard.
And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the 1st. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is fielded at the 27. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking...
And now Watson throws another interception. And the Texans will take over here at their own 14-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime.
He's got a man complete.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Here's Jackson. And a loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Hey, we can preach ball security all we want here, but how about that effort on defense? Excellent job inside the red zone. Just took away at least 3 points by forcing that fumble.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Watson off play action. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Cameron Sutton.
And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, that's the 3rd time he's fumbled so far in this game. And, you know, you can make excuses for each and every one of them. But the bottom line is he's got to take care of it better. And now that he's shown a propensity for fumbling it, just think about what the defenders are trying to do.
Yeah, well, guys hate 1 fumble, 2's, oh, my goodness, 3 or more. Wow.
Just doesn't make any sense, does it?
Sliding out of the pocket.
That's caught by the tight end, Harrison Bryant.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. A good gain on first, has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Here's Watson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Watson on 3rd down. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Joejuan Williams.
And the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway.
From the 6. And he returns this to the 22.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Off of play action, it's Watson.
Man open, that's Anthony Schwartz.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Cameron Sutton.
And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
163 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Jackson now off the bootleg.
Swings this one out wide for Pierce. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Yeah, it looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep, and he is going to lose yardage here.
Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. On first down, Watson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Cameron Sutton. Yes, folks, that is his third interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. They almost gave it right back to him there with another interception of their own. And to be honest, he probably should have caught that and picked it off.
And he knows it, and he'll see it in film, and he'll see it in his dreams tonight when it's all said and done. But you almost felt like the excitement had been ramped up, and they were trying to get a big play right after that one.
Boy, 192 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. First and 10, it's Pierce.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
He'll fire one end zone for Cooks. And it'll be intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Browns are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the third quarter. But now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one.
He's got a man complete. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Jalen Waddle,
his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Browns have evened the ball game with a chance to take the lead here in the final minute of this third quarter. Extra point by York is up and good.
And that will put them on top here in the third. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they...
Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter.
At halftime, you had to feel like the defense had to be in a good position. They had to feel good about themselves. They'd had this guy boxed in all game long, but after that run, that might be the breakthrough that he's looking for. Now they may have some difficulty dealing with him the rest of today.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Javon Holland coming up to make the stop.
3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Jackson.
Open man is Jordan, the tight end.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 12-yard line. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. That he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down. Got to kick it, right? I mean, even the short yardage, you boot this thing, don't you?
Yeah, but I know how aggressive you are. I know what you want. You want to go for it, don't you? You're feeling it, aren't you?
Yeah, but treat it like a football game, not like Madden.
I like that. Fight the temptation, kick the field goal, because if you go for it and don't get it, you put a lot on your defense in a short amount of time.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Browns drive about to get started. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Back to throw, Watson.
Throw left side, there's Schwartz with it.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the...
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
If you want a lesson on how to defeat an offensive tackle, that was pretty textbook.
Is that a clip and save?
Yes.
That's what's going to go around the league, and people are going to watch that and say, my goodness, that's how you do it? And I feel awful for the offensive tackle because we always talk about the athleticism of that guy who just beat him. Well, you have to be athletic to try and block that guy. Just in this case, the defense won.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson. Throwing left side, it's complete.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
3rd and 2, Watson.
Got a man, it's Schwartz, complete. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
Very sharp here to start this drive, 3 for 3.
Yeah, I like the way he's running this 2-minute drill. Very sharp, very precise in throwing the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
To throw, Watson.
There goes a deep ball, end zone.
And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost them.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. And if he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves him out there with another chance.
Here's Watson.
Throw left side complete. That's Schwartz. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
Watson to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Watson. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Here's a handoff to Mostert running left. And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker, 4th down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Jackson into the hands of Cooks, and they'll get him down after a gain of 7, but they'll happily give him that. Throwing, Jackson, there again, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and this is picked up by the Browns, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week in practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location.